Why, hello there, you beautiful souls. Ooh, welcome to a Sunday Satsang. Now, it's really funny because I was checking out the first Satsang guided meditation that I offered 5 years ago, and it's kind of a full circle moment. We're going to be diving deep into the essence of what meditation is and the purest of intent of what it's always intended to lead us towards. Now, the title is Witness of our Witness. Now, in terms of what is meditation, it's going to be a great opportunity for those that have been lifetime practitioners, just starting off, doesn't matter where you're at, because we're going to be going through the fundamentals and revealing experientially the potency and the truest and greatest power that is tapping into ourselves, unfolding that layer of the I am. So go ahead and get your last few stretches out. Get a few little wiggles. Get some shakes in there if you need to. Go ahead and get yourself into a position that is nice and comfortable. If you can, try to be as upright as you can, but still relaxed, not straining yourselves. And if you prefer to meditate on the ground, just make sure you don't fall asleep because this is going to be a juicy one. So, we're going to begin by simply taking a nice deep breath to regulate the body. A deep inhale through the nose, filling yourself up with as much air, chi, prana as you can, even a few sips at the peak. A gentle hold, and a slow release through the mouth. We're going to do one more. And with that exhale, we're going to transmute that into a sigh of relief. One more deep breath here. Fully filling yourself up. And as you begin to relax the jaw, come into that stillness, that presence. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, we'll take a nice deep inhale with each sound of the bowl as it rings. And as you exhale, just as you sighed of relief, we're going to lower our jaws and chant a nice and powerful, mighty Om. That A note will resonate and stem from that sigh of relief. And as you close the mouth, the U and the M will form naturally. Release the body of breath here. It's here where we drop the happenings of the day, the worries and angstiness of what is to come, and simply marinate in the present moment. For that slice of now is the only one we truly experience. It's in that eternal now that everything is felt, witnessed, observed. Yet it's now in which we fall in love with this practice, so if you haven't yet, ensure you have a gentle smile on your face. And with that gentle smile, we allow ourselves to have the tip of our tongue at the roof of our mouth. And gently pressing, gently touching. And as we allow our energy to regulate with this final tap of the singing bowl, we simply shift that focus, that attention, towards the sound of the bowl as it rings. And as it fades into silence, so too we allow everything to simply drop away, remaining as that silent witness, that silent observer, and know where we are. Meditation, this practice of stillness, of calm, is not necessarily a practice to master, but rather one to embody, one to unfold a deeper understanding of. In that most distant, externalized form, it is a doing that is done through chants and mantras, some through movement, and others through this sit-down, still practice. But in reality, we are always undergoing this process, this path of meditation, of unfolding a deeper truth to what is this primordial question of who am I? What is life? What is existence for? But fundamentally, it comes down to understanding one thing: the witness. We experience it as this sense of knowing, of meanness, that sense of I. But in this lifetime, we come to understand that there's only one thing that is always anchored, and everything else changes. So when we look at that question, what is it that is unchanging within our experience, we are left with the deduction of the observer, the witness. And then in this unfoldment of meditation, that meanness never goes away, but it becomes deeper. It becomes more intimately connected with Source, with life, with one another. It goes away in the temporary fashion only. And what this means is the identities in which we attach that witness to. For the body is changing. With different seasons come different attachments, fads, all the things that we can look within our own lives and experience to see just how much of our beingness has changed. But if there can be one word to really define what meditation is, we can call it a refinement, a polishing, a stripping away. And it's an infinite onion that is always peeling back layer after layer after layer. But within each new wavelength, each new understanding, each new energy field, it becomes more pure, giving off a greater aroma of what we always have been and what lies behind every witness to everything in this experience. Meditation is not chanting internally. Meditation is not running around until the body drops its eagerness, its angst, its thought forms. Meditation is a witnessing. And more importantly, it's an awareness. Which is why those that are on this path of self-awareness are presently in the understanding that what we are lies far beyond what we know. Because only in the comfortable, only in the known, does the body identification rely and dwell in. For the body doesn't know. Our temporary nature of the form is just that. And its controller, its rider, is eternal. It is outside its scope of understanding what that even means fully, for it is not designed to handle such a divine truth. Which is why it's important to come back to the truth of meditation and what it is always intended to reveal us. Our source, our home, our creator, the witness to all of our witnesses. When we unfold and exit from that path of self-absorption, when we firmly and fully commit ourselves to questioning what is it that we know is true and what is it that is false, we begin this process of stripping away, of deducing, And it's in that refinement we drop all of the external happenings as our identity of self. If you were your thoughts, every moment in which you experienced, the juiciest ones, those moments of being in the flow and effortless expression, they would be rampantly filled. But when we come to our experiential knowing, the best moments in life is when everything drops away. And that which is temporary is that which drops. Thought forms are not us because we have the opportunity to overcome them and act in opposition to them. If we were our thoughts, everything that was witnessed internally would be expressed. And although many of us have experienced those that seem to lack that filter, the beingness, the sense of self, is that one who decides what comes out of the body and what doesn't. And that's the beauty of this dance, because we're all undergoing this process of a living meditation daily. And when we're more self-aware, when we have a greater understanding of the full scope of this experience, every slice of now is a lesson that can liberate us and bring us into a more intimate and authentic expression of what we're created to be. We all go through the initiation of being a teenager and seeing and witnessing the hormonal changes of the body, the chemicals that cause our vehicles to see different colors and shades differently, feel the attractions towards all that which we are driven towards. Yet everything in this life, everything in our experience, is that of the spiritual path. Moments and opportunities to recognize that we are beyond the body, we are beyond the flesh. We are the ones in which our emotions present to interpret. But when we identify with them, we feel intimately the pain of the body. And just as when we are attached to our urges and our lust, our desires, we become so consumed, seemingly with blinders on, to whatever the horse pulls ourselves to. But when we come to the greatest understanding that you, your essence of the witness, is the soul, is the rider, and the horse is the body, it becomes so much more clear the position of your play in this play we call life. Yet the ego, the body, it's not our enemy. It's our noble steed. It's our first best friend. It's that beautiful divine vehicle in which we get to experience this life, yet it is our greatest antagonist. For every story must have a great villain in order to become the best hero. So our body tests us. It challenges us to put our money where our mouth is, to remember that we sit upon the throne of the soul and not in the monkey mind in which it represents. That it is a child of earth and not ours to own. To live in a way that allows it to fully express itself, but also to live in that eternal honoring of that divine nature in which we are. And that balance can only come from the heart. Allow yourself to take a deep breath here. And a slow and gentle exhale, however the body sees fit. As more of that space and understanding is gained, we peel another layer back to this witnessing. For it is that sense of I am that witnesses all of the feedback of the body, of the form. But this witness to our witness, what in truth does that mean? Can the observer be seen? Can the witness be witnessed? When it comes to the mental chatter, the mind will be confused and perplexed. But ultimately, although our answer can be defined as a no, we enter into the realm of spiritual paradox. Because the witness of ourselves cannot be seen by us. not on this individual level, because it's a different seeing. We enter into the realm of knowing. That divine inspiration, those beautiful moments in synchronicity, all of these things are governed and guided by Source, by Spirit. And the witness to our witness is that of love. Even when everything drops within the form, and we enter into these states of calm and stillness, we only witness the aroma of our being, but not the source of it. Calm, peace, emptiness, nothingness. All are observed. But when it comes to that witnessing of our witness, it is a knowing. When we allow everything to be, not judging your experience, not seeking anything else. It's where the I am comes back into the amness. When we look at this progression, it is obvious. We can use the terms I am that, I am this, I am feeling this way, and we can see exactly where our position is, that we are explaining what the body is observing and witnessing and giving us feedback towards. Internally, when we feel this rest, that calm, that aroma of love and peace, that light, we can understand it as that position of I am. Solely allowing yourself to be naturally allows your flower of life to unfold, your soul to shine. And when we go beyond the often entertained, enamored, or in awe sensations of such a beautiful aroma, we come into that beingness, that amness. When even the self drops, it's not something to ponder upon. In truth, you do it every night. You go to sleep with not a worry in the world, not a stress that you may not wake up. But we all return back to our Creator every night. Everything in this existence returns back to Source in every cycle of sleep. It's the one thing we cannot live without. And although there are but a few on that list, sleep is that opportunity for us to come back to our home, our Creator. So what happens when you do this in the waking state? What arises when you approach your meditation like sleep? What can we define that as to help us along this path of unfoldment into it? Love. The path home and the path for our soul is always going to be love, because that is what our Creator is. And in turn, as children of Source, that is what we are. And what is love but openness? What is love but joy, peace, safety? So allow yourself this opportunity to simply marinate. And allow these words to reach the depths of your heart and soul. That you are loved. That you will always be loved. That you are eternal. That you are favored. You are safe. you're doing great. The only one who judges us is ourselves. But our primordial parent, our creator, is so proud of us. Despite what may be witnessed throughout the world, everything is an expression of our divine free will. And those that are hearing these words are choosing to come back home, to be the living Messiah, to express the Christ consciousness, that in which is more unified and aligned with our source, and to radiate that in which we were created to be. So know in the depth of your heart that you will always be loved. And no matter what challenges and adversities are seen around you in this temporary life, know that they are but lessons to bring you closer into what you were made to be. That they're here to bring you closer in relation with our Creator. And through that, everything is possible. Through love, you can fully be. And that is the potency of meditation. To go beyond the temporary poles of the horse. To remember where the path is. And as we align with the mission of Source, to live fully as we are created to be, we walk along that path, gallop and run upon that path faster and more efficiently, more effortlessly and more playfully, ultimately loving every slice of now with a deep gratitude, with an overwhelming trust. So what can be said about meditation? It is life itself. Everything can be done in meditation, for it is simply a presence, an awareness, a letting go, a leap of faith, a trust fall, and a playful dance. Just as we can only witness and observe the aroma of our being, so too can we only come to experience Source by living. These dedicated moments we take to consciously connect with our Creator is the ultimate nourishment for our soul. For just as a tree cannot be without soil, earth, the air, the elements, the sun, or a fish cannot live outside of water, so too, for us to fully live and nourish ourselves in this human experience, we must have that primordial source of energy, Source itself. And as we lean in deeper and deeper, more and more gets revealed. The more we return back to that state of witnessing, that which temporarily distracts us drops away more and more. When we no longer have the intimacy of being pulled and drawn away from the feedback of the form, we become more anchored in our soul. And as we come to intimately know who and what we are and gain a deeper trust in life, spirit, and our Creator, we come into a deeper intimacy with Source. And through Source, anything is possible. And that's the dance that arises within our life. it becomes that much more cinematic, divinely aligned, effortless, and easeful. And although there will still be challenges, we will be gifted an infinite well of trust to courageously dance through anything that life presents us. And in that knowing that you are favored as a creation of the Creator, everything that is intended for your fullest expression will arise. And as you marinate in the many lessons that have arisen this spring, it's important to understand that this time period is that birthing. So align yourself with this gift of life, knowing that we are birthed in spring in order to grow strong in the summer so we can survive through the fall and the winter. So too, everything that is arising now is intended to bring you into a fuller expression of yourself, to be mastered, honed, refined throughout the summer, to carry you into an uplifted and exalted place and position for the remainder of your life. And all it takes is but a moment to drop everything. It matters not where you are or what you're doing. For every slice of now, the only moment we truly live is the doorway to our liberation, to our love, to our peace. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, again, we'll take a deep breath. With that sound of the bowl as it rings, and with our exhale, we'll transmute it into a mighty and powerful Om. With a big smile on our face and an open heart, to fully radiate that divine light in which we were created to shine forth. Release the body of breath here. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. If you can, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Smash that like. There's one thing that I definitely know from watching back on that first guided meditation, is that the alms have gotten so much more potent and juicy. And that the ultimate experience of this life has truly been a beautiful practice of living through these early teachings, and it just comes back to that same essence of what we are: a silent observer, and that the Creator is the eyes behind every mask in this grand masquerade ball that we can call the human experience in life. A deeper trust is definitely the most potent lesson in those last 5 years of offering these teachings. And ultimately, I thank you for joining me in this journey. Everything has always been to uplift and provide. And when the cup's overflowing, it's a miraculous gift to see it flowing into the lives of others. It has helped me come into a greater understanding of what I was created to be. And so thank you for joining me in the Satsang meditation. I really appreciate it. And ultimately, the time is now. Life is truly at that point of maturation. The fruit is finally ready to drop for this new authentic expression for all of us to be tapped into and exalted into a position of radiance. And as I gave the warning last satsang, to be mindful that now is not the time to be volunteering yourself for other people's chaos. Now is the time to really stand in your energy and your truth, and to fully integrate all the lessons that have been coming forth, birthed in this spring. Because as we enter into the summer season in the next few weeks, it truly will, crank up a few notches of intensity. And the more that we align with what we know is true for our soul, for ourselves, it will radiate and overflow into such a beautiful cinematic experience even further than what it already is. I guarantee it. I promise that to you. But in that other end or side of the coin, for those that are still in that path of self-absorption, that intensity being dialed up is going to be an increased volatility. And we don't want to get caught in the crosshairs or be collateral damage to anyone. So really come to honor and master your boundaries, your energy, these lessons of the masculine and feminine, the fullness of your flow, the sternness in what you will tolerate and won't tolerate, and ultimately allow yourself to unfold and blossom. And it simply is through letting go. The soul is always wanting to break out of its shell, but if it doesn't feel safe, it can't. And that first layer of safety and protection is the masculine expression of this human experience. It's our body. So we have to do the things that we know it wants to do, whether it be eating healthier, getting some physical exercises, having moments of creation and play, decompressing and relaxing and resting. And there's everything that we can all tap into in terms of these lessons for the form. And as we change and adjust spiritually, our body is always calling forth upon another refinement, whether it be a detox, a fast, a cleanse, cutting certain foods out. There's no end to this great mystery called life, and meditation is always intended to give us those pieces of the puzzle. And through community and connection and learning and growing, we can gain more puzzle pieces of perspective from others. But in this time of refinement, it's very important to recognize where your energy is going. Ultimately, as I would love to always recommend for everyone, the best connection to invest your energy into is your relationship with Source, because that cup will overflow into everything. I can never attest to a lot of personal skills behind things. I always give credit to Source. It has been the one thing that I, in all honesty, ran towards. I tried to get out of this life in many ways. And in my youth, I battled those darker attachments to the mental forms that were challenging me to really step into life. And physically, that was expressed back in, my youth of, an attempt at suicide. And that's something that many of us in this path have gone through, though, that battle of depression, that battle of the mental anguish and angst. Yet, it's the opportunity to separate from identifying with the form, that antagonist, to create the hero. And through that process, and honestly give shout outs to rest in peace Strider, the best golden retriever there ever was, I battled for life and remembered that it always comes down to love. And through that process, this conscious journey began to unfold greatly. And that's the beautiful thing. The moment we lean into, the moment we really surrender what we think we know and come to just clear away all the things we know we're not, it's going to level you up so fast. And through that, you'll gain superpowers. I can't put it any other way, because the wild stuff that has gone on in this human experience, magical. Most people don't believe it, so they have to witness it. And that's the beauty now, is that we get the opportunity to really flex that spiritual muscle, to really show that spiritual work that we've been graced to experience. So the words of encouragement here to end this are: be you. Radiate who you were created to be. Now's the time to shine, baby. And if we want to say that there's darkness in the world, well, then who else will illuminate it but us? So with that, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to divine within you, and I love you so much. Thank you for dropping in, and I'll catch up with you later. Peace.